Alright, now we're down here at the shop today. Oh, almighty. We'll see what Caden broke in the rear end the other day when he got back in it. So let's pull his back cover off. Yeah, separation. So that's all the separation. Let me get a gun. We're gonna knock the cover off of it real quick while we wait on Nigel to come down here. We're gonna get this thing, show y'all what it looks like. Stuff like this typically happens. 088 just can't stand it, so we're gonna pop this cover off and check it. Alright, there you go.
That's that new low drag setup.
Yeah, that's what that is. I'd say Caden got her pretty good this time. It is what it is. Told y'all the more Fords run good once they turn around and get some oil pressure to them. Motor sounds real good. Sounds like a champ, son. Guess I need to put the seatbelt on. So I talked about it before in some of my videos. The shop here was for sale. She had it online for way too much money. I couldn't afford it, wouldn't afford it, didn't want no part of it. So the Hindus next door, the Arabs next door, they ended up buying the place. So they paid a lot of money for it. So with a lot of money, they want a lot in rent. So talked to him the other day about this. I said, you know, I don't really need all this space. So the other end of the building has a spot I used to be in, which is about the size of this right here. It's pretty much this size on that end of the building, right on the other side of that wall. That's where I started out when I first got here. I used to have my shop on that side. And I used to pay like $500 a month with utilities. Super cheap. This used to be a tire store. When the tire store moved out, I didn't really have options. She said, look, I'm tired of him subleasing next door. You can either rent it or get out. So I come over here and rented this, and I paid $9.66 a month, which still ain't nothing. Me working by myself. My dad helps me occasionally when I need him, but it's pretty much me by myself. So at $9.66, I do just fine. I make my money. I do good. So the other day when they bought it, he come over, he said, do you want all 4 of these bays? I got my 2 bays, my car are inside that little piece. He said, do you want all 4 of them bays? Or you want to rent the whole building? You want to square? I said, well, we'll just talk about it. You just let me know. So the other day I heard the car lot next door, Al's place over here. I heard he didn't want the building I used to be in. I used to rent from Al in that one little bay. So I just told him, I said, I heard Al don't want that bay. I said, if need be, I said, I can move back over there. I said, because I really don't need the space of this place. I said, I could just go through and work out of a spot like this big, you know? I don't need all that. It don't have 2 garage doors. It has 1 garage door. So it's about probably 5 feet narrower than this. So he said, well, he said, how much you looking to pay? I said, you just tell me what you're talking about. He said, $1,300 and you split utilities. I'm like, I said, man, I'm gonna be honest with you, I used to get $500 a month for that place with utilities. I said, I'm not paying utilities, which I pay $800 a month here and $166 in utilities. I'm not splitting utilities when T.O. has an air conditioner over on his side of his yellow body shop. He uses the water all the time, washing down his bay, washing down the dust so he can paint stuff. He uses the AC, the heat in his little paint booth. He runs that thing all the time. I literally have these lights right here. My compressor's broke. I don't have to use it. I had to go out there and jump it to use it. I never really use it. You can see the lighting in here is bad. So I have these lights here and a fan I use occasionally. So they've rented this bay out back here to a wood shop. So I'm gonna split utilities with a man that runs a saw all day. All he does is use electricity. When I use hand tools, like I use ratchets, I turn wrenches, manually wrenches, not air tools. I don't use all that. Put this back here. He gonna run the power bill up $300-400 more than whatever it is. I ain't paying his part of it. I know what I don't even use the 166. I use my toilets are broke in the back of here. The septic tank system's stopped up. The toilets are broke. I had to go home to use the bathroom, which is local. That's okay. I don't even have a sink in this place to wash my hands yet. You know what I mean? Like we might top off a car a little bit of water, but we don't use no power. We don't use no electricity really. We don't use no water. I'm not paying, utilities for a man that runs air conditioning when my face is red because I've been dealing with this heat today. I'm not paying for the wood shops coming out back, their utilities, part of their utilities when I'm not using their tools. You know what I mean? It's just not my thing. So I told him, I said, hey, I'll give you $1,000 a month for that place over there. I ain't heard back from him. So I've gone ahead. I've moved my toolboxes. I started lining the wall over here of tools of mine. My welder. I started lining my stuff up down through here of my tools. Slowly but surely, my dad hauled a load of tires and odds and ends stuff that I don't really use much. He went in and hauled it home today. But I got just enough to where I gotta take my lift down, and literally I have my toolbox and a little bit of stuff to load on the trailer. Once I load that, I'm out of here. So we'll figure out on the 1st or this week, next week, whenever he comes through. Because if he wants $1,000 for that side and $1,300 for that side, he's gonna want $2,000 for this side. Not interested. I'm just not. There's no way. Not a one person working. It ain't cutting into my racing. You know what I mean? And that's what it'll do. It'll cut into my racing, and I'm not interested. So I'll downsize my operation, and we'll see what the future holds. There she be. Pull my pinion shim off. I'll knock my bearing out of it, I'll knock my bearing out of it. Strip it pretty good. So I put it up in here. I'd say that old bearing right there don't sound too good. She's probably been through enough. It's been in this thing for a long time, so we're gonna knock the pinion back loose, knock it back out. Put some new bearings in it. So like I said, that thing right there, I'd say that's probably what went wrong with it, just because of the way it sounds. All right, we got the gear in it. Backlash is set. So now I got a silicone, put my brakes and all that on, silicone cover, put it with fluid and drop it off her nodules. All right, wheels are back on it. We got fluid in it. Fire it up, let's break it in, let's run it for a minute. Back and forth on them. Back, I'm dirty. Car's running. We're gonna let Kate make the first pass before Outlaws not. We got here a little bit early, so I'm gonna go ahead and get up here and let Kate make the first pass and see how the car does. And I don't know what I need to do for Outlaws night. So while we got time, since last week we broke the rear end before he really got a good pass, we're gonna let him take this one. be something I missed. I don't know. About time to retire this thing from outlaw racing for a little bit until I freaking figure out what's going on with it. So looking at the pass from Caden, he goes through and comes up here. It's making 16 on the brake. When they go of it, it's making boost. Now, if you look at this, we command 49 pound, usually makes 34-ish and holds there. Well, for some reason, if you look right here, we're making 41, 46, 47, 50, 54 pounds of boost is what it's trying to make. Caden lets off of it, luckily. This fucking motor, just something ain't happy with it. I don't know. It's done got on my freaking nerves, honestly. We ain't made a good pass with this since we've put it in there. So it, air fuel and all that, the correction factor was still fine. It was pulling fuel actually. So all that's fine, but I don't freaking know. I really don't. The only thing I do notice was after the run, when he let off of it, it went from 100 pounds of oil pressure to 44, and then it drops on down to 24 pounds, 23, 24 pounds. I noticed when you started it up, oil pressure looked low on it. It's holding 23, 24. It ain't never been that low, so I don't know whether the pressure switch probably went. If I had to guess, the pressure switch probably went bad on it to drop like that. It ain't making no noises, but I'm just freaking over it. I don't know. It should have been running, and it ain't running. BS racing 88 in a week. They done destroyed. Yeah. Alright guys, well, it rained out Shadyside yesterday, so we're back out at the track today. Got the no-brainer, got Nigel's car, got Nick's car. Got Jolene coming down through there.